Hello, everybody. Tracy Hackler here from Roadshow Cards, back with another what promises to be a phenomenal edition
Magical.
of the Roadshow Roundup. It's magical. We're in our individual kingdoms. The Justin and Ryan channels there, top middle.
That's right.
Are from the California Roadshow. Trey Huntsman, who's watching TV but also on the couch, from the Kentucky Roadshow in Lexington. Cody Krim, bottom right corner, hat on frontward this episode from the Texas Roadshow, and then bottom left from on location at the world's happiest place, DisneyWorld. Kevin Kulikowski from the New York Roadshow. Don't know how this episode's going to go, but we're going to have fun and we're going to talk all things Roadshow. Kevin's already frozen, so that's awesome.
He lost connection by Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Wait, Cody knew where we were at, right?
Wait, Kevin should just go on a ride and just like be riding rides and us just do the podcast like normal.
Do splash.
I think we're all on a ride right now.
All right, Kevin, what's your update?
Cards.
Water, just
No joke. I brought a pack of cards with me to rip on Splash Mountain, but then I was like, wait, what happens if I hit something good? Like, what am I supposed to do with it?
What kind of cards did you bring?
I thought the hobby would turn on me if I did that.
The hobby would turn on you.
It was National Treasures football.
Oh. Yeah, don't open that on the Splash Mountain.
Do you think that's
your grip, your
that's not a good
relationship with the hobby is already tenuous enough. We don't need to give people reason to turn on you completely. Go ahead, Channels.
That is true.
What's that?
What?
This is electric.
We just assumed you had something to say.
Hey, I always got something to say. I have our weekly joke if you guys are ready for the joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So a guy named No, this is great. A guy named Bill goes to the doctor and he's having trouble with his memory. He can't remember anything, so he goes to get memory pills. And he says to his friends, he goes, "Oh yeah, they're working real good." He goes, "Oh yeah, what's the name of the pills?" His buddy says, he goes, I need some of those. I'm having trouble with my memory. He goes, "Oh man, what's the name of that flower? That the pretty flower?" And he says, "A daffodil?" He goes, No, that's not it. Real romantic, it's got to be a carnation." He said, No. Long stem, it's red. Oh, it's a rose. He goes, Yes, that's it. Rose. What's the name of that medication they gave me for my memory? So that's it. There's your weekly joke. I hope that beats the corniness of Brian's in the group chat.
Usually we have like a moment of silence for your jokes, but Kevin's background noise kind of threw it off.
No,
that's right. I enjoy it. I'm all for it.
So
yeah, right. That was like your sympathy. Like that was good, but
hey, I like the joke.
Cody told me I need to be more mean to you guys. Like he said.
I didn't say that.
Listen, can we do shop updates tonight? No, well, you said it in not so many words.
Well, we always do. We always do, Kevin. We always do shop updates. I would just want to go on the record as saying Cody has power in the Texas Roadshow shop. Today, Wednesday, if you're watching at home, we recorded on Wednesday. Cody's power came on, and that was really exciting. Cody, right?
Absolutely. Have power. I walked in and then I had already been in the shop for like an hour or so, and Tracy pulled up and I was like, "Are you ready for this? Like, are you ready for this huge, like, grand reveal?" And like walking into my shop now and just seeing everything lit up, and it's so nice and it just makes a world of difference. So yeah, we're so close. I think this was like the first moment where I was like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm about to open in like a few weeks." Like like, oh my gosh, I'm running a card shop. Like It's happening. Y'all know that scene in The Office where Michael Scott's like, "It's happening." Like that was me today when the power came on.
Yeah, it makes a world of difference in there for sure. And we put some unveiling stuff together on what promises to be a destination piece for collectors across the country and maybe even the world who are going to want to come to the Texas Roadshow to see this extravaganza that Cody has in his shop. More to come on that. But yeah, we've talked a lot this week about kind of grand opening plans, which makes it seem that much closer to becoming reality. So stay tuned in the next few weeks for that because it's going to be big. And something else that's big is Kevin's love. Well, really Kevin's, Cody's, and Trey's love for Disney. But Kev has some kind of big news in the New York Roadshow, if I'm not mistaken.
I do. So 2 things. 1, we are secure. We have bulletproof glass windows now. Fort Knox.
What was the other big update, Kev?
So the other big update, and we're gonna show this off when the ink is dry on the contract, but our destination piece, the wheels are like really, really in motion, and we should hopefully be able to show that off to the world in the next week, I would say. But I'm floored by how awesome it is. So it should be super exciting when we finally get it in jump.
Your destination piece will provide the baseline for what is possible, the next level of card bar. Go ask somebody what they think about the Roundup.
Sir, I have a quick question for you. Have you ever heard of the Roadshow Roundup? The podcast.
I'm not.
All right, I appreciate it.
Do you want to come on the show? Do you want to come on?
So he didn't.
Love you, Kevin. Have a good time at Disney, bro. Oh, he's out. That guy had no interest in even coming on the show, did he?
That was awesome.
No.
Nope.
So that's cool. So we got 2 big updates from Texas. Obviously, is big. New York is big.
Sure.
Kevin's destination piece we've been working on that for what seems like 2 months, and the fact that it's really close to coming to fruition is really cool. So
we may have 2 big like pieces being
revealed
or not being revealed coming up in the next few days to a week.
Yeah, so stay tuned to the socials because you're not going to want to miss it. In California, I'll get to Trey lastly on this one, but California, maybe not as many shop updates, but certainly a show update. Let her rip, Tater Chip, as they say in the industry.
But I do have a quick shop update that I can't update on everybody on. So I have been on the phone with the contractor a couple of times this week.
Wrap it up, Chuckles.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, this is great.
This is my favorite episode we've done.
Allah. You were on the phone with Allah a few times?
and I are matching too with our shirts.
You guys are cute.
Yeah.
Is that salmon? What color is that? Salmon?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
I don't know. You saw mine today, Tracy. I haven't changed.
Yeah, Justin, did yours? You don't have an iron or anything in your house?
No, sorry. It's all taken up inside of your skull there. That's where it all is.
There's boxes of cards on the ironing table.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, he used up all his hot steam already. Yeah, we're actually using it as a table for
this is our loop stream. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, Justin. I'm sorry. I derailed that.
Hey, that's okay, but I don't think you are.
So you've talked to your contractor a few times. Go ahead, continue with your update.
So we've been having trouble with the permits, and then now there's a permit for the bathroom, and then there's a tax on the water that gets used, and then now there's the one for the drains because our restaurant was our spot was an old restaurant. Now the drains need to be capped, and each of those drains needs to be marked on a piece of paper and submitted to the count. Like all these little things have just been popping up. So the good news is all of that stuff and everything has now been submitted to the county. So now we are just waiting for the county on approval. I talked to our contractor today, said that he was going into the office to be there in person and kind of just say, hey, here's everything now. You have it all. Let's start getting the stuff approved. Like, just apply pressure on him because, we're all getting anxious with all this stuff. But, it's good to have it finally moving forward. So I'll update everybody here in the next few days, of course, as we start to hear more. But everything is submitted now. So we have nothing else to push forward. But
hopefully within the next few days, we'll have an update.
Yes, hopefully. As we know, as Cody knows, sometimes the city can take a little longer than they say. But we do have a big show update in the meantime, right? You want to tell everybody about what we did, where we went?
Yeah, so we took a total time. It took us to leave Oakland and be back in Oakland was 23 hours. So we were gone for 23 hours. We went to Vegas. We went to the Front Row Card Show, and it was there's two ways to look at it. You could say it was either extremely successful, or you could say it was too successful that it was slightly less successful than it could have been, because there was so many people there that it actually lessened the experience. Just it was shoulder to shoulder the entire time. So it just made it harder to do deals. It made it harder to some dealers would have 3 or 4 tables and you could only get to one, and then it's like you take a loop back around and they're full. So just like trying to get around there was a little tough, but a lot of good people, and it was like I said, it's a very promising show. And I think as a dealer, it was being a dealer there would have been amazing.
Oh my God, heaven on earth.
Yeah. So I definitely think that for the next one, we should go as a dealer. We should set up, and that being said, that they are expanding the next show. It'll be I think they said like twice the size. So it's going to be it's a show that's rapidly expanding. And
it's the casino, but it's behind the high roller, behind the link. I don't remember the name of it. I think I think it's the Tuscany.
The front row show.
They're moving to the Tuscany in August. I could be wrong on the name, but I think that's which one it is. And it's going to be double the size. So I was talking to Ryan about this, because obviously we go to all the California shows, and this reminds me of the first Fairfield show. So we went to the first Fairfield show in a small hotel ballroom, and it was, you're rubbing front to back as you're walking through. You got a backpack on, you got to hold it in the front because you just can't walk through all of these people. And then as soon as the Fairfield show went to the mall and they have this huge thing, now all of a sudden there's 300 dealers there. It's a big show. So I love it. I actually think Vegas is going to be, or has already started to be, a hub for West Coast collectors with first the Mint and now the Front Row Card Show. I talked to a few people. We're working on a little video that we took, and you'll see some of the interviews that I did there, and Ryan as well. And everyone echoed the same thing. Oh yeah, they had one a couple months ago, and this one's easily double the size. And for me to think that the show was double the size of last time on the same weekend as the Dallas Card Show is amazing. So, we went. We had a good time. Like you said, met some good people. I did a couple of fun deals, sold some stuff, bought some stuff. We ripped a few boxes, pulled some cool cards.
I won $180 on a slot machine, and then I lost it in like the following couple hours. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
So I can't really ask for more.
No, we had a good time. Yeah.
You could not lost it.
Well, I know, but I put 30 in and I cashed out at like 210, and then I went and I was like, I lost the money, but it was, I don't know, it was fun.
I lost a lot of my money on Drew Lock cards. So
right. Paxton Lynch and all those other Brock Osweiler, you lost on me, all those guys.
Yeah. But you guys captured tons of content. I know that, and the people at home can follow along as that starts getting posted. Trey also did some West Coast traveling this last week. Went to quite the extravaganza, the NFLPA Rookie Premiere presented by Panini. Trey's first time there with Dubs. Kind of tell us how that went, man. I know it was a big weekend for you guys.
Yeah, it was fun. We were out there for about double the amount of time that the channels were. I think we took off and landed in Lexington in a 50-hour span. I think it's what
That's
Dub and I
crazy.
did.
So
the coolest
crazy.
thing, out of all of it, just bucket list thing was going to Venice Beach with Dubs. That was an experience.
Was the bucket list going to Venice Beach or going to the beach with Dubs?
Dubs. That it was that part.
Can't imagine his commentary.
He's obviously a AWL here. I'm sure he listens to all of them.
Oh.
But going to Santa Monica Pier with David Diamondstein, I highly suggest doing it.
Did he get your GTA references?
No, 0%. Like no, like GTA. I could have been talking about programming software. Like he had no idea. Like we're driving on the interstate. I'm like, oh sweet. I landed a helicopter on top of that.
Yeah.
He
had no idea.
No, like nothing. But
They was like, you know how to fly a helicopter?
Yeah. He'd be like, oh, then we gotta buy one. We gotta buy one for the roadshow. The roadshow copter.
That was the best GTA, by the way.
The GTA 5 was elite.
Well, yeah, it has to be because there hasn't been one come out in like 20 years.
Yeah.
I know it's all online
GTA
now.
6 has been in production since 2013.
It's like the Chronic 2 or whatever. The Dre.
It's like our card shop.
The next, it's like the California Roadshow.
What's going to be up first, the Cali Roadshow or GTA 6?
Probably right around the time Frank Ocean's album comes out. But no, so it was an awesome event. It actually really was a big bucket list thing for me to get to do that event. The NFL draft every year is one of my favorite, if not my favorite event every year. So I always looked forward to the NFL premiere when I was a kid. So to get to do it, it was an awesome opportunity in the first place. But when we got there were very few people in the area that we were in. There's some really good folks. Sarah Layton, her team was there, and like a handful of other either shops or breakers were in that area as well. So it really presented a cool chance to do really cool content with the guys that Scotty was bringing over, and Desmond Ritter, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, to get to do videos with them, talk about collecting cards, talk about what it's going to be like to have people collecting their cards. And it was a really neat opportunity. The relationships obviously were amazing, to see the guys at Panini, to see David Reel at GTS, a lot of really good folks that they had around there. Like whenever we talk about establishing a goal for something and then what does success look like, it would have been hard to find more success out of that trip in terms of the relationships and some of the content we got. I thought it was pretty awesome. Some of the stuff that we got to do, talking about cards with these guys, you could tell they were really excited to be out there and doing that. It was just success all the way around.
Yeah, you did a great job capturing content as a guy who has been to that event, I don't know, more times than I can count, and had to do interviews or got to do interviews with those many, many players. It starts to it becomes a mind-numbing exercise because as the day goes on, you kind of forget what you were going to ask. You kind of forget who you're talking to, but you were a true professional. We posted your Desmond Ritter interview on the day of, and then we got a whole bunch of more interviews coming. In fact, I think in this episode, maybe even right now, we're going to run Trey's interview with New England Patriots quarterback Bailey Zappi.
What's going on, guys? It's Trey at Roadshow Cards, joined by my dude, Bailey Zappi. We're here at the NFL Rookie Premiere. What's it like being out here, posting for cards, doing all this, signing autographs? How awesome has it been?
It's been awesome. It's being young and dreaming of this moment, signing cards, being on trading cards, kind of seeing yourself on a card and trading card signing. It's been awesome.
Now, did you collect when you were a kid?
I collected a little bit. I wasn't real big into it.
Yeah.
Now I'm probably going to get into it now.
Now, you're out here with 41 other guys. If you were going to collect one of these dudes, who would you collect?
Only could choose one?
How about a couple?
I'd have to go away from my position because I know my position is overall pretty low. So I'd go like Olave, Garrett Wilson, Traylon Burks, Brees Hall. I'd even go Walker.
Yeah.
Trayvon Walker, I'd go him. First off, I'd like to have his fan card. So I'd go away from my position and go to other positions because I'm pretty close to my guys.
Absolutely. So you have an awesome story. Something we heard a lot about. Some great stories on Athletic and everything about your story over the last couple of years. If you could go back 3 years ago and tell you something, standing here wearing a Patriots jersey, you're at the NFL rookie premiere, what would you go back and tell your former self?
I'd just be like, look, continue working, continue, giving 100% in football. Now your dreams are going to come true. And as long as you keep your head down and keep going, ignore the noise outside of the games, your dreams will come true. You'll be in the spot that you've always dreamed of.
It's awesome, man. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Nailed it.
You did. A true professional. But no, it is a great event. You get to catch these rookies at maybe their last moment of innocence, right? But before they get into the league and it's real world pressure, learning the playbook, trying to make the squad, trying to focus on their job. And so it's a fun time. And yeah, that was awesome.
Just their their willingness to do content with you and to talk with you about everything, like Zamir White, who I know the channels are going to love. Like, if you're looking seriously, like I'd ask a lot of these guys, like, why should somebody collect you? Like, what is it that separates you from everybody else that's out here? And Zamir White was the one that I want to collect after it. Like, he walked up and he was just this really cool country dude from North Carolina. And we talked for a couple minutes. Just an all around good dude. Like,
what was his answer to that question?
I said, why do you want people to collect you? He's like, man, I just love everybody. And he goes, I just love what I'm doing every day. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll collect you. You seem like a pretty cool. But another one that was really cool was Trey McBride and Alec Pierce, who I know if you're, Cardinals or Colts fans, you're probably familiar if you're Colorado State or Cincinnati. But these were just two good dudes. And they sat down for about 7 or 8 combined minutes and opened some packs with me. And we talked about futures for them, what they're excited to do when they get into the league. So that was pretty cool to open packs with them. And the coolest thing was Scotty brought over Malik Willis just to talk to me for a couple seconds. And it was pretty cool to get to, talk to the Titans' new QB. And I didn't get to do any videos with him, but it was just cool to get to talk to him, meet him, take some pictures. So all around, I mean, that thing is an absolute operation, what they run out there, man. That thing is crazy.
Yeah, it really is. And it's such an important event for not just the current season of NFL trading cards, but a lot of the cards made on that day will be the most collected cards of the next 2 decades in some cases. And shout out to Dubs for being your trusty sidekick and grade A cameraman.
He was all over it. That dude was just on top of it at all times.
You talked about the certain players and asking them if they collected cards or things like that. Did any of them answer like in the affirmative to like yes, they're active in the hobby to this day, like they know the cards that they're signing, or was there anything like that? Or
so the guys that I talked to, not as much. I would probably say the one that had collected the most, interesting enough, was Kenny Pickett. He had collected when he was a kid. He said he had binders of cards and stuff when he was younger. But for a lot of those guys, it was kind of cool. They were learning about it at the event. Nice. So they were kind of getting an idea. And you could tell what was awesome was that they cared. They're like, all of them were saying like, I never really understood. And I think it's so cool that people are going to look up to me and buy these cards of me. Yeah. So it was less of like, no, I haven't really done this my whole life, but I'm so excited that I get to be a part of this now. So it was kind of like you were seeing all these guys basically just be introduced to the hobby, right? And that was pretty cool, I thought.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great event. You'll see tons of content from the Roadshow handles in the days and weeks ahead from that event.
Hey, Trace, so you did it for years. Who, besides Tim Tebow, was your favorite guy at one of those? Because I know your favorite was Tebow.
Tebow was awesome.
Johnny Manziel was probably one.
No, you know who one of my favorite guys from that event was? Well, Von Miller was awesome because he was there the first year I was at Panini. So I was in pure like fanboy mode.
That was Afro Hackler, right?
Yeah, that was Afro Hack.
DeSoto Zone.
Yeah, DeSoto Zone. So Von Miller's a favorite, but Kelvin Benjamin, I know he didn't last long in the league.
Yeah.
But such a big dude, huge hands, but really nice, soft-spoken. And I remember because they just won the championship at Florida State. And I was just talking to him one night while he was signing, and I said, did you know when you broke the huddle that the game-winning pass was coming to you? And he goes, oh, yeah, I knew it was coming to me. And I'm like, were you nervous at all? Or he goes, no, I just ran the play, and I knew I was going to catch it. And I'm just like, but just such a nice, like, quiet but dominant presence. So he's a guy that.
Sorry, Tracy.
No, you're good.
The cool thing is how many guys were either from or involved with Kentucky. So I got to talk a lot of like either playing them in high school. Like there was David Bell for the Browns. My high school played him when he was at Warren Central in Indianapolis. And then Desmond Ritter's from St. X and Louisville. Wandale Robinson, who, of course, played at UK. He's from Western Hills and Frankfurt. So that was kind of cool to get to talk about that because I actually covered a lot of those dudes whenever I was covering recruiting. So I was telling, Desmond Ritter about covering him when he was a freshman starting QB. And all that was pretty cool, too. Talking to Wandale was awesome. After everything over the last couple of weeks, our signing with him not happening. And he was so genuine, so honest and open about all of that. But he was cool. We did about a 3-minute video. That's one I'll probably post. And then I've been saving that one. That was a pretty cool thing because he talked about the foundation that him and his family have set up to help people. So that was pretty awesome as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to come from that. And so stay tuned for that. So the NBA playoffs are still going on.
We're going to skip over the Dallas Card Show? I thought we were going to talk about that.
Well, we could talk about that, but let's talk about the playoffs. Playoffs, because at the Dallas Card Show, there was a lot of talk about the playoffs, but one of us on this show right now picked the Mavericks in 4 against Golden State. So I've been thinking about that. Only 1 week ago.
That's how much faith I have in my own team.
I know, but I was thinking about that this week. Like, I don't know why, but I was. Did you really think they were going to sweep Golden State, or was that like a fan moment through?
Oh, for sure, a fan moment. I did. I will say this: I legit thought the Mavs were going to win the series.
Yeah, and they still might.
Right. Could make history. I'll also say, I think the series score is a lot more lopsided than this series actually is. I mean, I know what the Twins are going to say. Well, it did happen, but I mean, in reality, the Mavs blew a lead that they absolutely should not have blown, right? In game 2, and if they don't blow that lead, it's 2-2 going back to Golden State instead of 3-1 and the Mavs holding on by a thread. So I will say this, like every night that our role players struggle, I just realize like how good Luka. Like I'm just like Luka's like a top 3 player in the league. Like if you look at and I think Giannis and Jokic are probably the ones ahead of him. I think Curry's probably 4, and then I don't know who 5 is. We can debate it. No, I don't think Tatum's probably 5. But what John Morant maybe 5 right now. Anyway, we can debate that later. My point being is that I think most people would say Giannis and Jokic are probably both in the top 3, and both of those have way better teams than what Luka has surrounding him. and for Luka to literally just drag this team to this point, I'm just like, like it sucks that we're down 3-1, but like Luka is the real deal, and we're very fortunate as Maverick fans to go straight from an athlete like Dirk to Luka. So I'm just trying to revel in it and revel in the fact that as of now, 6 games into his short elimination game stretch, he's the best elimination game player in the history of the NBA. So I get to hang my hat on that.
Well, he's going to have more chances in this series. Channels brothers, equal time for rebuttal.
To be fair, in Game 4, Cody, even though they held on, they did give up their like a 21 point.
29 point lead. I was texting your text. I was like, well, we're going to blow a 29 point.
Yeah.
And going into the fourth quarter. Yeah. We're up 29 going into the fourth. And I turned it on and I'm like, we're up 8. We're up 8 points.
Yes. Moses Moody took that lead back. So I don't know how fair to be fair, is this game it would be 2-2. I'm like, they just won this game by they blew the lead to the second team. It's like, there's a lot of stuff here where even if they're playing great, I mean, I know they had to bring Luka back in the fourth quarter just to make sure that they didn't blow.
I said it last night. Our role players are a lot like Devin Booker. No offense to Jimmy or any of the Devin Booker fans that are listening. No, they will shoot you. They can shoot you into a game, right? Like Reggie Bullock and Dorian Finney-Smith. If they get going, you're in the game.
Finney-Smith was killing it last night.
But bro, they can also put up 0 for 10 games like Bullock has done this season or in this series. It's like, dude, if those guys get hot, it's like they can't miss. And it seems like they all get hot in the same games. It's like the game 7 versus Phoenix, and Kleba, Bullock, and Finney-Smith didn't miss a shot until like the third quarter. And it's like, but then you have games like game 3 where they go 0 for 10 shooting. And I'm just like, I don't.
What do you think the difference would be if Hardaway wasn't injured?
So I think there would be a difference. I don't know. Like, could he have stopped y'all from coming back from whatever it was, 19 in game 2?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, Hardaway's definitely, I would have said number 2 before going into the playoffs. I think Brunson has pretty much submitted himself as the go-to number 2 player now for us. But, I mean, you lose your second and third best player. I mean, look, it happened to the Bucks, right? Like, they lost Chris Middleton, and they were nothing. So, he's been out all playoffs. So, like, it's not really – I mean, he's been out majority of the season, so it's not really an excuse. I don't think that he's definitely not like an all-star level player. So I don't know that he's, like, the difference maker right now. Now, if we stretch it to a game 7 somehow and then y'all beat us in game 7, then I may be like, well, if we only had Hardaway, we would have figured out how to win one of these 4 games we lost. But I mean, I'm not going to say that. I think also, like, not many players get to the conference finals in just their 4th year in the league.
Right.
And Lucas said it after the game 3 loss. He's like, I'm 23. I'm still trying to figure things out. And, Jordan, Jordan didn't make the finals until year 6 or year 7 in the league. So, like, I don't know. What Luke is doing is still incredible. And while I obviously still want us to stretch this season out as far as it can go, I'm just trying to also appreciate these moments of Luka, because I feel like I didn't do that with Dirk enough.
Yeah.
Like, I never really appreciated the greatness of Dirk. And I'm trying to just, like, soak in every moment that I can with Luka because I know how special it is.
So from your perspective, then, what is the one? Is there one thing, or is there multiple things that would put them over the edge and make them?
Rebounder. If you look, the Mavericks in the playoffs, I saw a stat today on Twitter. The Mavericks in this year's playoff, if they have more rebounds than the opposing team, are undefeated. They haven't lost a game.
Wow.
So, I mean, I think I saw game 3. I think I saw something where, like, Golden State had almost 4 times as many second chance points as the Mavericks.
Yep.
And it's like Luka can't be our leading scorer, our leading passer, and our leading rebounder. Like, that's not a recipe for success. Like, it's just not. Like, you look at Giannis, for example. most times he's going to be the leading scorer and their leading rebounder, but he's not also their leading distributor of the ball, right? Like it's very hard to lead your team in all those aspects and have a successful team.
Channels, how do y'all feel about, or what's the importance in this series of having a hit or miss Otto Porter Jr. who's dealing with an injury and not having Gary Payton Jr.?
I would say Gary Payton. I'm glad you finished with that because I think Gary Payton is a little bit more important as far as like depth goes and having defense and someone to lock up Luka.
And how quick he is, his speed.
Yeah,
on there.
Well, so he's such a momentum changer. You'll notice when GP2's in the game, whether it's a block, whether it's a dunk, like that guy, the energy he brings to the team, for some reason, he does it better than anyone else. I mean, besides for like Steph hitting a super deep three, like he fires up the team and the fans more.
There you go. There you go. That's the thing too. Fans for sure. GP2 is a fan favorite here in NorCal, and anytime he touches the court, it has just been electric the entire season.
Y'all's roster is just so deep. Like,
oh yeah,
I feel like y'all like 7th or 8th guy would be starting on our team.
Even Iguodala, if he was healthy, like he would be playing. Like I don't think that we would lose that game if GP2 and Iguodala are healthy. Like I think that we would have swept pretty, not easily, but like for sure.
Trey, who do you want to see in the finals?
Why do you laugh?
Trey, just imagine how awesome a 3-0 comeback of the Mavs or an 0-3 comeback.
I mean, I'm totally, and I just want a game to be within 30 points. Like, I know. Like I am so much more interested like in different sports right now because number one, I don't really have any dogs in them. Number two, none of these games have even been that close. It's just back and forth. Like I was going to hammer the Heat tonight because isn't it their turn? Like, yeah. I think the Celtics blew out the last game. The Heat are 2.5-point dogs. And I'm like, I would take the Heat minus 20 tonight.
Isn't somebody out tonight?
I think
I think Marcus Smart is out.
Marcus, he's wicked smart, and
my boy's wicked smart.
Hero is questionable.
Before, I don't want to be like breaking news a day late here or anything, but.
Heat plus 3.5.
This says that Hero's out.
Yeah, so. It looks like Hero and Smart are out.
He's wicked
and
smart.
Some guy named Sam Hauser.
That's Dookie's brother.
Sam Hauser is the most Boston name I've ever heard.
Sam Hauser.
Hauser had 15 last night.
How's it going?
That's good. How are you? So you don't care who's in the finals, really?
I mean, like, if Cody wasn't going to shoot me the next time I'd see him, I mean, I would totally say the Warriors because Steph's, like, my favorite of the best players in the league right now, for sure.
That's acceptable. I don't mind.
Like, I genuinely love watching him play. Like, if that's the TNT game on Wednesday night, I'm watching that because
I think Steph is the most polarizing player in the league. I'm with you on that.
Like he brings eyes to TVs that normally don't watch games. Like me. Like I keep up with the NBA mainly because I consider it part of my job. But like if Steph is playing, that makes me want to watch it about 100 times more than anybody else. And second would be Luka. I would say those are the two guys. Like I kind of wish that was the finals, honestly. Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's
Cody. Look up, Cody. Look at it.
If that was a Booker
shirt, you got an auto on it too. I like look at the auto on there.
I as long as it's not Draymond or Booker, I'm good.
Yeah,
I've got a Draymond shirt too, but I'm not wearing that one.
Bro, Draymond. I'm not going to get into that debate with the Twins.
But I guess I would say this: like, if I could see, like, if we're talking like, oh, that would be cool. Like, I mean, Mavs Heat would be cool because it would be cool to see Hero in the finals again and see Luka go for a ring. But I mean, I would like to see. I think the best series would be Celtics and Warriors. I think that would get us the best basketball. So I'm kind of rooting for that.
I think the Warriors are going to stomp whoever they face.
I do too. Now, here's the thing: is I also root for our hobby, and I think the best series for the hobby right now would probably be Celtics Mavs to get Tatum and Luka in front of as many eyes as possible would just be huge for the hobby.
Yeah,
I think Tatum competing for a championship would be huge for our hobby. Because if you look at the Heat, like
I agree with you. I mean, I think that he's like the most successful like younger player. Like
absolutely.
Of that, like Donovan
I think
Mitchell,
him and Luka,
Tatum.
right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like in that you would have to put Tatum, Mitchell, Luka, Trey.
Yeah.
Obviously
Booker's probably he's 2 years older. I wouldn't include him.
I wouldn't include him.
Jaylen Brown. I put Jaylen
obviously came on the scene.
Jaylen Brown. Yeah, I mean, I'd include a lot of those guys. It's kind of crazy that Hero might be playing in his second finals in 3 years in the league.
Yeah,
that's kind of
and that's not to take anything away from like the young guys for Golden State. I think it's just that like the younger guys on Golden State's team don't really get the like any of the accolades because they're not like the forefront of their team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tatum, I mean, that was Tatum's rookie year, right? The Kyrie stuff where he missed the whole playoffs, and Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Isaiah Thomas. That was that team. Yeah. So if you look at that, and I mean, I think they missed the playoffs last year, right? In the weird year.
Yes.
Was it last year they missed? So I mean, you're saying he's already been to 2 conference finals, and I think they're going to win that series. So he could be finals, 2 conference finals. Like,
not that he should have been. Not that he should have been because it's. I don't think that first team All NBA should be based on positional rankings, but Tatum also made first team NBA this year.
Yeah,
over Steph.
Well, I was thinking more over Embiid, who was like the second best player in the whole league.
Embiid, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, language,
in college, they've kind of done away with that. It's basically like, here's the 5 best guys.
I thought even with position, how you put Booker over Curry is
insane.
Now,
if you look at Booker's defensive stats, like it's not anything close to Curry. Am I right? I think that's
Curry's a great defender.
I don't think his offensive stats are that much better.
No, he averaged like what, 4 or 5 assists a game, and
so when I was looking at it like stat wise, really you couldn't argue with Luka, Giannis, or Tatum. I didn't think those 3 were arguable. I think Curry should have made it over Booker based on position. I think Embiid is the second best player in the NBA as far as I'm concerned. Jokic is.
But he didn't make your top 3.
Sorry, I was talking Jokic. I meant Jokic.
Jokic. I was going to say I'm not an Embiid guy.
Yeah, Jokic is top 3 player in the league. He didn't make first team All NBA. Like, I don't know.
Hey, Eric, can I get some hot takes real quick, Tracy?
Sure.
Is LeBron still a top 3 player in the league?
No way.
No.
Wait, hot takes? Yes.
So you know what I will say, and I'm not a LeBron fan. I would rather. This was an interesting argument, and I'm going to use the Mavericks in this. I obviously would rather have Luka on my team right now than LeBron. Mm-hmm. But if you were to tell me I have to pick between LeBron or Luka for one series, not the future of my franchise, one series, and it's the conference finals, I think I would still take LeBron. If that
right now,
like right now, if I got to put him on my team for conference finals, not worried about the future of my franchise. I'm just saying right now, it's hard to not pick LeBron with his experience, how he's able to turn it on in the playoffs.
I'm taking Iguodala.
But I don't think you can say he's a top player in the league anymore.
But are you saying you would take LeBron over Luka in a conference finals for the series?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Right now, yeah.
If you need it, you're down 3-1. You have to come back. You get to pick one player. Is LeBron your guy to do
No. LeBron will mail it in on you.
Yeah, he'll be halfway to Cancun by the
LeBron will mail it in. Yeah.
Without his teammates, he'll go without his teammates. He'll leave them.
He's got a movie to make. He's got a movie to make.
But I will say LeBron made it to the finals with arguably a worse team than what Luka has around him.
Yeah.
So.
True.
We watched the highlights the other day. Richard Jefferson was on the court for like the last 3 minutes of maybe the biggest NBA game of the last 10 years, Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye were out there getting the minutes.
Wow.
And y'all lost.
Anderson Barrett.
Way to go.
Varejao.
Way to go, Dubs. Speaking of dubs and wins and taking victories,
Yeah.
Cody and I won this weekend at the Dallas Card Show, or last weekend, rather.
You won.
We won because we were there. Thank you. I got a trophy. I got a trophy here somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but
Bronco took it.
yeah, Bronco took it. No, we Cody and myself and Kevin Kulikowski who was on earlier from DisneyWorld, Chase Krim, Bailey Krim, we all took in another version of the Dallas Card Show, and it was just as packed and successful, I think, as they all have seemed to be. Am I right about that, Cody?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that you can definitely see for those, I don't want to say like us, Tracy, because I don't have near your experience.
That's another way of saying I'm old.
Yeah, but typically like mid-May to like mid-July are like the slowest 2 months in the card world.
Yeah.
As far as not new releases in wax, and obviously this year may kind of disrupt that with the releases that are coming out later than normally scheduled. But typically there aren't huge releases during that time. It's off season of sports, so there's no real fluctuating in prices, and potentially more impactful, people are saving up for the national. And you could kind of see that starting to gear that way at the Dallas show. Just as many people coming, just as many people buying cards, but it was more so of like the dealers weren't really budging a lot on prices because they're like, well, if I hold on this for like 2 more months, I know I can get my price in Atlantic City at the National.
Yeah.
And then you also saw dealers that set up at the National, that set up at a lot of shows, now aren't setting up at the Dallas show and are walking around buying to gear up for what they're going to bring to the National in Atlantic City. There were several dealers I talked to that said, we set out a showcase or two of cards, and they had guys in there that they said, they may not mind moving right now, that are really hot right now. Jordan Poole, guys that are just absolutely on fire in the card market right now. But they were like, ultimately, we just wanted to have this space to allow customers to come up to sell us cards because we're trying to build out an inventory to take to Atlantic City. So you definitely see that shift starting to happen in the hobby to where everybody is getting ready for the National already.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, all the movers and shakers that have been there every other month for seemingly the last year were there again. The crowds were great. I rubbed backpacks or had to do backpack battles through tables more than once, and that show continues to kind of amaze me at how popular it is every other month. So yeah, that was. I think Cody on the Texas Roadshow YouTube channel has a lot of content planned for that. So please do watch that if you get a chance. And that's kind of a week in the life of a Roadshow Roundup. Is there anything we want to go over before we hop off?
Are there new releases this week?
Oh yes,
Impeccable.
Mosaic.
Yeah, today was Impeccable. Had some that get ripped.
Last week, but it was after the podcast.
What's the Premier League Mosaic? That was cool. I mean, next week's Prism. So yeah,
that's gonna be.
I like Impeccable. I like Impeccable because it's one of those products where you could open a box and actually pull a card that's going to make you a lot of money. I feel like there's a lot of products now, and products that I like, right? Like Phoenix. I love Phoenix. But the reality is you could pull a case hit out of Phoenix, a Mac Jones patch auto out of Phoenix, and it may pay for like your box.
Impeccable took such a price hike this year.
Yeah, it is. And I think part of it is like you look at how collectible like some of those foil cards have gotten over the past few years.
Yeah.
And now it's like, wait, I could open a box and pull a card that's going to sell for like $8,000.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
That's what I was telling people today because we had the Ray Allen All-Star one.
The 75th anniversary ones are going to do that too.
Yeah.
Those are going to go crazy.
That product, I kind of consider the RPAs as secondary.
I agree.
I think
absolutely.
It's like I had somebody pull the Jokic auto today and the Ray Allen to 10. And I have to actually think about who the RPAs were.
Was the Ray auto out of 10? Was that the foil one?
It was the foil All-Star game. And it was do you remember the All-Star game? I think it wasn't the one at the Staples Center, but it was the one where it said like East and West were diagonal on the jerseys. Kobe was in that. I know LeBron, maybe 06 or 07. But no, it was like the coolest looking card. People that collect those players, that's just going to bring more value than the same exact immaculate NT.
Right.
It's something different every year. Like last year, we had the Curry get pulled by a customer, and I mean, I was like, that's very well could be 5 or 10K, or more. Like he was shocked. He was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "It's probably more than that LaMelo you pulled right next to it last year." So
I kind of feel the same way about Sterling, in a way where, it's $800, $900, $1,000 a box, somewhere around there. But these are two super high-end on-card autos numbered to 25 or less. And I was looking at the checklist. I mean, I got a Cal Ripken Jr. out of 25. It's not great, but it's still 25% of a high-end box price out of the one. Now you have the other card, and then you get a Mike Trout, and you're golden. Like more often than not,
just like Ken.
These one, yeah. More often than not, these boxes will pay for themselves, or you'll at least get the majority of your money back. You're going to get over half your money back on a lot of these boxes. I saw like somebody said a bad one was like Johnny Bench and then like Steve Carlton, but I still looked at it, I was like, that's still almost like half your money. If you got a better deal on the box, like you're getting still around half, if not more than half your money back. And I don't think there's a lot of products out there right now where you can happily say that.
Yeah. Plus, there's so much like unique stuff in Sterling. Like I saw Ryan Bannister pulled the Yadier Molina like bat barrel.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
What doesn't Ryan Bannister pull? Dude? That guy is crazy.
He that Jeter triple auto that he pulled too. Oh my goodness.
The editor of this very podcast, Ryan 90, I think he said his dealer at the Dallas show had a customer pull the Babe Ruth cut double bat card out of Sterling
from this year's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was from this year. I mean, it was a beautiful card.
I'm gonna open a box. I'm gonna open one of these boxes.
Just buy the box you're saving for Loop and see what you get.
Yeah, no, I'll probably open this one. I'll see.
You know what's crazy? That was the most recent like case that I bought a whole case and ripped the whole case of, and it was last year's Sterling, and like I broke even on it, which is like like and not even necessarily broke even. I still have like a couple of the cards, but like I just pulled so much stuff that's like, oh my gosh, like my worst card is like
level,
Johnny
crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Any big hitters? Do you remember any of the big hitters out of the case?
Yeah, I pulled like a Trout quad patch auto out of 5.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to think what my 101. Oh, I pulled your boy Matt Chapman 101 like letter nameplate.
Oh, do you still have that one, or did you sell that?
I don't know. I may have moved it. I tried to move it. Cool. I think I may have moved it when he was hot. Who were the rookies last year? I pulled a big rookie.
Last year's big rookies. That was like Brian Hayes.
Mountcastle, Dylan Carlson.
Yeah.
No. I feel like I pulled a decent like rookie like jumbo patch auto, but I don't remember who it was.
Dahlbeck would have been in that. There's a bunch of guys in that.
Well, that's been a pretty incredible episode. If you don't mind me saying that.
I mean, this is one for the books.
It is. It's started with a real sketchy connection from DisneyWorld from Kevin. He asked a random Disney goer if he'd heard of the Roadshow Roundup, which he clearly had not.
I wish he had said something like, "Sir, do you have a fast pass to come on the Roadshow Roundup?"
That's an all-timer.
You have the Genie Plus app, so you can ride the Roadshow Roundup later tonight.
Yeah, do you have the Roadshow Plus app?
We had a Trey Huntsman interview with a Patriots quarterback.
Please don't put that in this.
Oh, it's coming. It's already been edited up. Ryan's got it ready to roll. So
Great.
It's going to be special to a lot that we're doing. And I know you guys know this, but I love y'all. And I think I speak for all of us at the Roadshow when we say we love all you watching. We appreciate your support. And stay tuned next week. You're not going to want to miss it. See ya.